Hello, everyone. Welcome to Say It.
Hey everyone, so happy you are here with us today. I am Mike.
And I am Sarah. Really glad you are with us today.
Sarah, I want to try something before we even start.
Go ahead.
I am going to say 2 sentences. Tell me if they sound right to you. First one, she arrived to London yesterday.
That sounds fine.
Now the second, I saw you on the photo.
Also sounds fine.
Both of them are wrong.
And that is exactly the problem. They both sound completely natural, but both have the wrong preposition.
3 words, in, on, at. You use them every single day, and almost everyone has at least one wrong without ever realizing it.
Where they go wrong is not random. There is a pattern, and once you see it, you will not make these mistakes again.
But before we start, please like and subscribe to Say It. Every new like and subscriber motivates us to prepare more episodes for you.
Now, let us get into it.
3 words, in, on, and at.
Used in every sentence, every day, and constantly mixed up. And 3 of the most confusing.
Why do you think they confuse people so much?
Because in a lot of languages, one word does the job of all 3. So learners translate directly and end up with the wrong one every time.
So the problem is not the words themselves, it is the system behind them.
Exactly. And here's the good news. There's one idea that covers almost everything.
One idea for in, on, and at?
One idea. Think of them as a camera, 3 levels of zoom.
A zoom lens?
Yes. In is the wide shot. You are surrounded by something big. On is the medium shot, a surface, a street, something you're touching or connected to. At is the close-up, a precise point, an exact spot on the map.
And this works for place?
Perfectly. Think about an address. In London, the city, wide shot, you are surrounded by it.
On Oxford Street, the street, medium shot, a line on the map.
At number 34, the exact address, close-up, one precise point.
In London, on Oxford Street, at number 34.
3 levels, 1 zoom, and the same idea works for time.
Time as well?
The same logic. In December, the month, a long period, wide shot.
On the 15th, the specific day, medium shot.
At 3 p.m., the exact moment, close-up.
In December, on the 15th, at 3 p.m.
1 rule, 2 uses. Same zoom lens for place and for time.
That is actually very elegant.
And it makes the whole topic much less intimidating, because instead of memorizing hundreds of separate rules, you just ask one question.
Which question?
Is it large and general? In. Is it a surface or a specific day? On. Is it a precise point or an exact time? At.
3 questions, 3 answers.
That's the whole system.
In is the big picture, on is the surface, at is the exact spot.
Same for place, same for time. Remember that, and everything else in this episode will make sense.
Let us start with place, because that is where most people feel the confusion first.
And the zoom lens makes it simple. In for anything large or enclosed, somewhere you are surrounded by.
Like in a room, in a building, in a box, in a drawer.
In a city, in a country, in France, in the world.
In the park, when you are actually inside its boundaries. In the garden, in the forest.
And one that surprises people, in a car, in a taxi.
A car is small and enclosed. You are surrounded by it. In.
Now on, the medium shot. Surfaces, streets, lines. Something you are touching or connected to.
On the table, on the floor, on the wall, on the ceiling, on a shelf.
On Oxford Street, on Main Street, on the left, on the right.
On the first floor, on the third floor, on the ground floor.
And technology, on the internet, on the phone, on television.
All surfaces in a way, the screen, the line, the signal.
Exactly. And at, the close-up, a precise point, a specific spot.
At the bus stop, at the station, at the airport, at the door.
At work, at home, at school, at a party, at a wedding.
At the top, at the bottom, at the end of the street.
All of them a single point on the map, not an area, not a surface, a dot.
And transport fits perfectly into this.
It does, and there's one simple rule that makes transport easy forever.
Which rule?
Can you stand up and walk around inside the vehicle?
If yes,
On a bus, on a train, on a plane, on a ship. You can stand, you can walk.
if no, if you must stay seated.
In a car, in a taxi. You cannot stand, you sit enclosed inside.
So get in the car, get on the bus.
Always. And once you know that rule, you will never confuse transport prepositions again.
In for large areas and enclosed spaces. On for surfaces and streets. At for precise points. And transport follows the same zoom lens.
The wide enclosed car, in. The large platform vehicle, on.
And there is one more thing about place that surprises almost everyone.
Which one?
Sometimes the same place takes a different preposition and the meaning changes completely.
Show me.
Okay, where is he?
He's at the pool.
And where is she?
She is in the pool.
Same pool, two different prepositions. Do they mean the same thing?
Not at all. At the pool, he is at that location. Could be sitting on the deck, could be in the changing room, could be watching from outside.
In the pool, she is physically in the water.
At tells you where to find someone. In tells you they are surrounded by it.
Same place, completely different picture.
Exactly, and it works the same way everywhere. At the park, you are at that location, near the entrance, at the cafe inside it, somewhere around it.
In the park, you are within its boundaries, inside it.
At the cinema, that is where we are meeting. Outside, in the lobby, anywhere nearby.
In the cinema, we are inside watching the film.
One more. At the beach, the general area, the car park, the promenade.
On the beach, on the sand itself, the surface.
So the zoom lens is doing its job even here. At is the dot on the map. In is being inside the space. On is the surface.
And the question to ask is, am I describing a location as a meeting point, or am I describing actually being inside something?
Meeting point, at, inside, in, surface, on.
That one question covers all of it.
Now, the same zoom lens, but this time for something you cannot see or touch.
Time.
Time. And the logic is identical. In for long periods, on for specific days, at for exact moments.
Starting with in, long periods, months first.
In January, in July, in December.
Years, in 1990, in 2024, in the 1960s.
Seasons, in spring, in summer, in winter, in autumn.
And parts of the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening.
All long periods, all wide shots, all in.
And future time when you are counting forward.
I will be ready in 5 minutes. She arrives in 2 weeks. The meeting starts in an hour.
Still in, because you were describing a period of time that has to pass.
Exactly. Now, on, specific days and dates, the medium shot.
On Monday, on Friday, on Sunday.
On the 15th of June, on July 4th, on 25th December.
On Christmas Day, on my birthday, on New Year's Eve.
And when a day and a time of day combine, the day anchors it, always on.
On Monday morning, on Friday afternoon, on Saturday evening.
The day is the anchor. Whatever comes after, still on.
Now at the exact moment, the close-up.
At 3 p.m., at noon, at midnight, at 6:30.
At breakfast, at lunchtime, at bedtime, at sunrise, at sunset.
At Christmas, at Easter, at Eid, the holiday period treated as a single point in time.
And at the weekend. That is British English. American English says on the weekend.
Both correct, both natural, neither is wrong.
Now there is one exception in this whole system, and it always catches people.
Which one?
Parts of the day. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, all in. But one part of the day breaks the pattern.
Night.
Night, not in the night, at night.
She works at night. I cannot sleep at night. He runs at night.
Not in the night.
General nighttime, always at. But there is one exception within the exception.
Within the exception?
Yes, if something specific happened during the night, an unusual moment, an interruption, then you say in the night.
Like the baby woke up in the night.
Meaning, at some point during the night, something interrupted. That is in the night. But for general nighttime, she works at night, always at.
So the pattern is in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. 4 parts of the day. 3 use in, 1 uses at.
And that one exception, at night, is the single most common time preposition error in the entire topic.
In for months, years, seasons, parts of the day, on for days and dates, at for exact times, and at night, not in the night.
The zoom lens, same for time as it was for place.
And before we go any further, there is one rule that saves you from a mistake almost every learner makes every single day.
Which one?
Sometimes you do not use any preposition at all.
No in, no on, no at, nothing.
Exactly. And it happens with a very specific group of words. Last, next, every, this, yesterday, tomorrow, today.
The moment any of those words appear, the preposition disappears.
I will see you in next week.
Wrong. I will see you next week.
She called me on yesterday.
Wrong. She called me yesterday.
He comes at every Friday.
Wrong. He comes every Friday.
We are meeting on this evening.
Wrong. We are meeting this evening.
Are you free on tomorrow?
Wrong. Are you free tomorrow?
Every single time. Last, next, every, this, yesterday, tomorrow, today. No preposition. None.
These words carry their own time meaning. They do not need a preposition to help them. The preposition is not just wrong, it is unnecessary.
Last, next, every, this, yesterday, tomorrow, today. No preposition. Always.
Always.
Now, one use of in and at that comes up in travel conversations every single day and almost nobody teaches it.
Which one?
The verb arrive. And that sentence from the very beginning of the episode.
She arrived to London yesterday.
Apply the zoom lens. London is a city, a large area, wide shot.
Large areas use in.
So she arrived in London yesterday.
Always in for cities and countries. Arrived in London, arrived in Spain, arrived in Asia.
And what about a building, a station, an airport?
Those are precise points, close up, at.
They arrived at the airport. We arrived at the station. She arrived at the hotel.
And for days, arrived on Monday, arrived on Thursday.
And home, here, there, no preposition at all.
She arrived home late. We arrived there early.
So the zoom lens covers arrive perfectly. City, in, building, at, day, on, home, nothing.
And there is one more thing. Arrive to.
Arrive to?
Never. Arrive to is never correct for a place, ever.
Not even I arrived to the party?
Not even that. I arrived at the party. Always at for a specific event or venue.
So arrived to London, wrong. Arrived in London, right.
Arrived to the airport, wrong. Arrived at the airport, right.
Arrive to, never. That is one of the most common errors in the entire language.
And now you will never make it again.
Now, the part of this episode I find most interesting.
Which part?
Sometimes in, on, and at do not just describe location or time. They completely change the meaning of what you are saying.
Same word, different preposition,
different world.
Exactly. And there are 3 pairs every learner needs to know, starting with on time and in time.
These two come up in adult conversations every single day, and almost everyone uses them interchangeably.
But they mean completely different things.
On time means punctual, the scheduled time, not late.
The meeting started on time. She is always on time. The train left on time.
All of them at the planned moment, not early, not late, exactly when expected.
And in time?
In time means early enough, just before something bad happened, just before it was too late.
We arrived just in time. The ambulance got there in time. He finished the report just in time.
In all of those, there was a deadline, a danger, a last moment, and they made it before it was too late.
So on time is about a schedule. In time is about a deadline.
Exactly. On time, the train runs on schedule. In time, the doctor arrived before it was too late.
One preposition, completely different situation.
Now, at the end and in the end.
These are the ones that confuse even advanced learners.
At the end means the specific final point of something. It is always followed by of.
At the end of the film, at the end of the meeting, at the end of the page.
A specific moment, a specific thing, the point where it finishes.
And in the end.
In the end means ultimately, after everything, the final result of a whole situation.
In the end, we decided to stay. She tried many different things and in the end became a teacher.
Not a specific point, the overall conclusion, after everything has happened.
So, at the end of the film, the hero wins. That is the specific final scene.
In the end, the hero wins. That is the overall result of the whole story.
One small word, 2 completely different meanings.
And the third pair, this one connects back to the beginning of the episode.
I saw you on the photo.
That was our second sentence from the very start, and now we can fix it.
In the photo, not on the photo.
In English, in is used for the content of a photo, what appears inside it, who is in it.
The woman in the photo looks familiar. I can see 3 people in the picture.
And on the photo?
On the photo means something is physically sitting on top of the printed paper. There is dust on the photo. There is a stain on the photo.
In many languages, French, Spanish, Italian, Arabic, you would say the equivalent of on the photo because the image appears on the surface of the paper.
But in English, always in the photo, always in the picture.
The person is not on top of the paper. The image appears inside the image.
In the photo, never on the photo.
On time versus in time. At the end versus in the end. In the photo versus on the photo.
Same word, different preposition, different meaning entirely.
And once you know these pairs, you will never confuse them again.
There are 3 more expressions that trip people up constantly, and all 3 have a very clean fix.
Starting with one that affects speakers of many languages. Italian, Spanish, French, Portuguese, all make the same mistake.
Which one?
At the moment.
What is the mistake?
Speakers of those languages say, in the moment, I am very busy, or she is not available in the moment.
Because in their language, the equivalent of in is used.
Exactly. But in English, it is always at the moment, never in the moment.
At the moment, I am working on something. At the moment, she is not available. At the moment, we do not know the answer.
Always at, never in. At the moment means right now, currently.
One phrase, one fix. At the moment.
Now, skills and abilities. This one surprises people because it feels like in should work.
Why in?
Because people think I am involved in something, so I am good in cooking. I am terrible in maths.
But skills use at.
Always. Good at cooking, terrible at maths, brilliant at languages, hopeless at remembering names.
Good at, bad at, brilliant at, terrible at, hopeless at, all at.
And the third one, interest and involvement. This is where in does belong.
Interested in.
Yes, interested in history, experienced in sales, involved in the project, talented in design.
So the pattern is skills go with at, interest and involvement go with in. She is good at her job. She is interested in her field. Both about her work, different prepositions.
Good at, interested in, and at the moment, never in the moment. 3 expressions, 3 fixes, all very common, all very fixable.
Now let us talk about the mistakes, the exact sentences that go wrong most often.
And we have already fixed 2 of them during the episode.
Which 2?
The very first sentence from the beginning. She arrived to London yesterday.
Apply the zoom lens. London is a city, large area, wide shot.
Arrived in London, not arrived to. Arrived to, never.
And the second sentence from the beginning. I saw you on the photo.
The photo contains the person. The person appears inside the image. I saw you in the photo. Always in, never on.
Now, mistake number 3.
Which one?
The meeting is at the morning.
Parts of the day? In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. All in. At the morning, wrong. In the morning, right.
And the one exception, at night. But morning, afternoon, evening, always in.
And mistake number 4. This one comes up every single week.
Which one?
I will see you in next week.
Next, one of the words that needs no preposition.
Last, next, every, this, yesterday, tomorrow, today, no preposition before any of them.
I will see you next week. She called yesterday. He comes every Friday.
The preposition disappears completely.
4 mistakes, 4 fixes.
Arrived to, never. Arrived in a city, arrived at a building.
On the photo, never, always in the photo.
At the morning, never. Always in the morning.
In next week, never, always just next week.
And the 3 questions that solve everything else.
Is it large and general? In.
Is it a surface, a street, or a specific day? On.
Is it a precise point or an exact time? At.
3 questions, that is all you need. Now let us hear everything working together in a real conversation.
Roleplay time.
The scenario. Monday morning. Mike has just come back from a work trip to Edinburgh. I stayed in the office. We are catching up before the week begins.
Let us go.
Welcome back. How was Edinburgh?
Really good, actually, though the journey was long. I arrived at the station here at almost midnight.
That is a late arrival. How long does it take to get there?
On the train, about 4.5 hours. I left on Friday morning and arrived in Edinburgh by early afternoon.
And the conference itself, how was it?
Excellent. It was held at a hotel on the main street in the city center. About 200 people in the room.
That is a big conference. Did you manage to see much of the city?
A little. On Saturday evening, a few of us went for dinner, and on Sunday morning, I walked through the Old Town.
I am slightly jealous.
You should be. At the moment, I'm already thinking about going back.
Was there anything useful from the sessions?
Actually, yes. There was a speaker in the morning who talked about something I want to share with the team. I took some notes on my phone on the train home.
Great. Can we discuss it at the end of the team meeting on Wednesday?
Perfect. Though I need to be honest, I was not on time for every session. The first one started at 9 and I arrived at about 1:15.
Edinburgh got the better of you.
In the end, I caught up. There was a photo taken of the whole group. You can see me in the photo trying to look like I had been there all day.
Classic.
Let us pause there.
Did you notice how many times in, on, and at came up in that conversation?
Let us pick out a few. I arrived at the station here at almost midnight.
At the station, a precise point. At midnight, the exact time. Both close-ups, both at.
I left on Friday morning and arrived in Edinburgh by early afternoon.
On Friday morning, the day, anchors it. Arrived in Edinburgh, city, large area, wide shot.
It was held at a hotel on the main street.
At the hotel, a precise location. On the main street, a surface, a line, medium shot.
At the moment, I am already thinking about going back.
At the moment, right now. Fixed expression, always at, never in the moment.
Can we discuss it at the end of the team meeting on Wednesday?
At the end of the specific final point. On Wednesday, the day. Both working together in one sentence.
And you can see me in the photo trying to look like I had been there all day.
In the photo, the content, who appears inside the image, never on the photo.
And not once did it feel like grammar.
Because it was not grammar, it was just two people talking. Once the zoom lens becomes natural, you stop thinking about in, on. Hello, hello.
Let us pause there.
Did you notice how many times in, on, and at came up in that conversation?
Let us pick out a few. I arrived at the station here at almost midnight.
At the station, a precise point. At midnight, the exact time. Both close-ups. Both at.
I left on Friday morning and arrived in Edinburgh by early afternoon.
On Friday morning, the day anchors it. Arrived in Edinburgh City. Large area. Wide shot.
It was held at a hotel on the main street.
At the hotel, a precise location. On the main street, a surface, a line. Medium shot.
At the moment, I am already thinking about going back.
At the moment, right now. Fixed expression. Always at, never in the moment.
Can we discuss it at the end of the team meeting on Wednesday?
At the end of the specific final point. On Wednesday, the day. Both working together in one sentence.
And you can see me in the photo trying to look like I had been there all day.
In the photo, the content, who appears inside the image, never on the photo.
And not once did it feel like grammar.
Because it was not grammar, it was just two people talking. Once the zoom lens becomes natural, you stop thinking about in, on, and at. You just use them.
The big picture, the surface, the exact spot. And that is exactly what today was about. 3 small words, 1 clear system.
So let us lock it all in. Fast.
In is the big picture, large areas, enclosed spaces, months, years, seasons. In London, in a room, in January, in the morning.
On is the surface, streets, floors, days, dates. On the table, on Oxford Street, on Monday, on the 15th, on the phone, on the internet.
At is the exact spot, precise points, exact times. At the bus stop, at work, at 3 p.m., at midnight, at the moment.
Transport, in a car, in a taxi, on a bus, on a train, on a plane. The stand-up rule.
Arrive, arrived in a city, arrived at a building, arrived to never, not once, not ever.
The meaning-changing pairs. On time means punctual. In time means just before it was too late. At the end of, the specific point. In the end, the final result. In the photo, always in, never on.
No preposition before last, next, every, this, yesterday, tomorrow, today.
Good at, a skill. Interested in, a subject. And at the moment, never in the moment.
And the 3 questions that solve everything.
Large and general. In, surface, street or day, on, precise point or exact time, at.
And if prepositions of place are something you want to go deeper on, we did a whole episode on to, into, and onto, the ones that describe movement rather than location. The link is right here.
That episode and this one together give you the complete picture of how English handles place and direction.
Now, your challenge.
Tell us in the comments, where are you right now? Write 3 sentences, one with in, the city or country you are in, one with on, the street you are on or the device you are watching this on, one with at, what time you are watching this at.
3 sentences, 3 prepositions, your real life right now.
We read every single one.
And if this episode helped you, please share it with one person who is learning English.
And subscribe to Say It so you never miss a new episode. Every new subscriber genuinely motivates us to keep making these for you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.